match the festivities. Talking of the Australia Day celebrations, we're just going to take a pause for the national anthem.
Of the land and pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. We also recognise that the land which we play and train has been managed by Aboriginal people since the beginning of time. We respect Aboriginal people's deep and continuous connection to this land, and therefore we undertake to walk gently upon it. Please welcome, singing the Australian national anthem, Alex Rose.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and well for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our lands abound in nature's gifts. Our beauty, rich and rare, in history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing. Advance Australia.
Beautifully delivered by Alex Rose. Maybe we could get her on board to train one or two of the Olyroos ahead of the Tokyo Games. Congratulations to them overnight, incidentally. Let's take a check on the team news. And for Western United, there's not much of it. They are unchanged, which is perhaps a surprise after Alessandro Diamante limped off after 30 minutes against the Mariners last week with that ankle injury. But the Italian has pulled up okay, no structural damage. It's also a milestone evening for Besart Berisha, who clocks up game number 200 in the A-League across 3 clubs, Brisbane, Melbourne Victory and now Western United, of course. And he has 17 goals of his 124 total against the Reds in just 23 of those matches. And just the one change for Adelaide. Christian Obseth is again missing due to a troublesome adductor injury. And with Al Hassan Toure still celebrating that Olyroos qualification for the Tokyo Games last night, George Blackwood is again pressed into service as the central striker. James Troisi returns in midfield after squashing recent speculation. He was about to move overseas. He's missed the last 2 matches with a hamstring problem. Well, midfield battle could be key tonight as Western United go into their huddle. Amongst their number, Jerry Skotadis, who's quickly established himself, Diamante last man in, as a big part of Mark Rudan's engine room. And he's just signed a 2-year extension to his contract. There is Jerry Skotadis, former Sydney FC junior. He does provide a little bit of bite in midfield, and preferred to Dario Yurtets again. Yurtets not even a part of the matchday squad today. I'm told there's no injury problem. It's just pure selection preference. Perhaps part of Skotadis' brief is to keep an eye on this guy, Riley McGree, who must be delighted with that overnight result in Bangkok. His suspension, of course, for the under-23 team will run out ahead of the Tokyo Olympics, and I'm sure he will hope to be on the plane as part of Graham Arnold's team. But what joy and what talking points Besart Berisha has brought us down the years. Ahead of his 200th A-League game, so many goals. He's one of those players, right, they love him or you hate him. He loves the game though. Gives the football a kiss before we get things underway. On this glorious afternoon in Melbourne. Referee Kurt Ams, his 51st A-League game, and a blast on his whistle gets us underway. And it is Robbie Cornthwaite in co-commentary tonight. Rather a tough one to pick a winner, I guess.
Certainly is. Thank you very much, Simon. As you mentioned in the lead-in, both sides returning to the winner's circle last week after maybe a mini form slump from Western United. We know Adelaide United were struggling, but both sides come into this one off the back of taking all 3 points.
Adelaide steal the ball early, and it's Nikola Miliusnic on the left. James Troisi going in hard and low into the penalty area, where he only found Panagiotis Kono, but again the Reds have stolen the ball back. It's Miliusnic with the cutback. Riley McGree fires in on goal not once but twice. And Andrew Durante will attempt to calm things down for Western United. Gets a throw off Miliusnic. Strong start by the Reds.
It is indeed. On the front foot early down that left-hand side, and McGree already involved on a couple of occasions inside the Western United penalty area, where he's caused so much damage this season in the attacking third.
Adelaide's top scorer, of course, with 7 goals so far this season, Riley McGree. Awkward bouncing ball for Connor Payne to deal with. Didn't really need that from Josh Risdon today, who just glances up skywards. Maybe he just got a bit blinded by the sunlight.
Big up and under from Josh Risdon. I think he was looking to clear that one upfield and skewed off the inside of his boot.
Halloran offside. And a bright starts by the Reds.
Big test this one for Adelaide United. I think the 4 defeats in a row coming into last week, it's easy for them to get up for a game against Melbourne Victory, and we heard their manager saying a few weeks ago when they failed to beat Central Coast Mariners that quite often they've had some struggles against sides maybe that people consider lesser opposition. So they're up for the derby last week. Let's see if they're up for this one today.
They've lost 5 of their last 7 road trips, including the last 3 consecutively. As Diamante tries to release Risdon down the right, but he's going to have to go pretty quickly to get past Miliusnic. There is Mark Rudin. Been a very busy January for him in the transfer window. 3 players out: McDonald, Chapman and Gulam, who returned to Turkey this week, and 2 in the shape of Oscar Dillon, who starts again tonight, and Tomislav Uskok, who's arrived from the MPL. There is Dillon. This is Max Burgess. Diamante. Lovely feet. Oh, it slips one through beautifully for Besart Berisha. Surely must score, but can't. Held up by Paul Izzo, and eventually swept away to safety by Jordan Elsing. What a delightful little ball through by Diamante, who is now wrestled to the ground by Luis Dorigo.
Fantastic opening for Western United. Diamante going past Jakobsen. Looked as though he was going to play that ball wide before a little through ball through to Berisha. Shot was on target, may have been heading in if not for Maria. Then he's able to win a free kick through side out wide after Luis Dorigo manhandled him. Big test for Dorigo today.
Diamante just glancing around and confirming the instructions from his coach, Mark Rudin. It's his enterprise that really has led to this opening. Swung in, and underneath it was Jordan Elsey. All the way back with Josh Risdon. Seeking out and finding Max Burgess. Cushion header for Diamante to help it on. Berisha again! And again he can't convert. It's that combination that has twice opened up the Reds' defence in the opening minutes. And Besart Berisha uncharacteristically profligate in front of goal.
What a pass this is. Didn't look like he even looked up. Diamante into the path of Berisha. He scored the club's quickest ever goal last week after just 6 minutes. He's had 2 opportunities to better that record already. Unable to do so in his 200th appearance in the A-League.
That's a little shirt grab there from Andrew Durante at the other end on Blackwood, which will give Adelaide United an opportunity from the set piece.
George Blackwood's played a number of positions this season. We've seen him out wide in behind in the number 10 position, leading the line in the absence of Toure and Opseth. 2 goals already this season, be looking to add to his tally.
It's been end-to-end stuff, hasn't it, in these first 5 minutes?
It's a good feel to this one.
See if Adelaide can perhaps steal an early advantage. Came off Blackwood last goal kick.
It's a super ball in from Dorigo. He's been on a lot of the set pieces this season for Adelaide United. Whipped it into that near post. Off the back of George Blackwood's head by the looks of things.
Yeah, almost turned away too quickly, didn't he? Mark Rudin wanting a foul on his man Barisha in that little duel.
Saw a few of those last night, didn't we, with Bruno Fornaroli?
Little bumps and barges. All part of trying to seize the initiative between striker and central defender.
Know that battle all too well.
I'm sure you do.
It's a good ball.
Jordan Elsey with a release. Ryan Strain faced by Connor Payne. Arriving quickly is Halloran, used as a decoy. Not a bad ball in. Aspro got in ahead of George Blackwood. Apologies, Robbie.
No, fantastic ball in, and as you say, Aspro stuck to his task. All cleared. Good battle already between those two.
Strain. Troisi again looking for George Blackwood, just slightly overhit. Good movement by Blackwood. He's trying to make himself available in all the danger areas in and around the penalty area.
Well, already the Adelaide midfield looks a little bit better than what we've seen in recent weeks. I think it's just the second time Troisi and McGree have been in the same 11 for about the last 6 weeks, I think it is. And we know when they're on that red-hot run of form, those two were instrumental in that period.
Sure, that news that James Troisi is to stay with the Reds is music to the ears of most Adelaide fans. They've somewhat wasted that little opportunity though, and Bessa Barisha carries it forward. Max Burgess. Operating on the left-hand side today, Burgess. Team sheet has him down as Bessa Barisha's central striking partner. Looks as though he's operating a little bit wider than that.
There's a player I really like.
Me too.
Come across from Wellington. I think he's got a lot of ability. He can add some goal scoring a little bit more in that front third. He's got a real future. Set one up for Connor Payne, I think it was last week, that was ruled out for offside. He's got a master to learn from, hasn't he, the man on the ball.
Quite the same quality on that release from Panayotis Kone. There is Max Burgess. It's such a sweet left foot. There's a bit of distinctive style about him, doesn't he, with those socks rolled down just about a quarter of the way down the shins.
A bit Ross Aloisi about it.
I was thinking Chris Waddle. Here's Nikola Miljuznic. Blackwood. It's Aspro jockeying for position, and Blackwood did really well. The chance is alive, and the Reds have buried it through Nikola Miljuznic. And George Blackwood gets the thanks and the congratulations, and rightly so. It was his trickery that opened up the Western United defence, and Miljuznic's shot was powerful and accurate. 1-0 Reds.
It was Miljuznic who started the move, went past Kone. We've seen Blackwood involved already early. Stands up Jonathan Aspro on this occasion, goes past him on the left foot. Kurto's only able to parry it into the dangerous area. And Miljuznic following in, as any good striker does, with his 4th goal of the season. Simple side foot finish in the end. Hit the target, and Kurto could do little to keep it out. Great start from the away side.
Well, he ends a 6-game scoring drought, Nikola Miljuznic. As you rightly pointed out, Robbie, his 4th of the season. The previous 3 have all been goal of the season contenders, really. That one's a little bit more routine, but they all count. They're all important.
First time we've seen Blackwood able to get on the ball and face forward. He's already caused some damage.
It is the 11th time this season that Western United have conceded the first goal. That's in the last 13 games, I should say. There's Herchan Verbeek. He's had a busy January as well. Allowed Daniel Margush and Vince Lear to depart the club this week, as yet no reinforcements for the Red squad.
Heard Bruce Jitte speaking during the week on the Adelaide radio saying looking at midfield and defensive players to bring in, they want to shore up those areas, but as of yet nobody's become available.
So Adelaide in front and scoring for the first time in the opening quarter of an hour of a game this season, as Max Burgess leaves Ben Halloran for dead. And advances towards the penalty spot. Here's Berisha. He's had a couple of chances. And at the third time of asking, he buries one as he marks his 200th A-League game with his 125th goal in the competition. The modern era's most lethal predator strikes again.
Well, you just can't be giving a man of this quality 3 opportunities inside the opening quarter of an hour. It was the great work of Max Burgess up on the halfway line. Strides away through the midfield and he picks out the pass into Berisha, comes inside, and a sweet left foot finish. Just not close enough to him in the penalty area. Gets away from Jakobsen. Elsie unable to close down. And as I said, 3 glorious chances for him in this opening quarter of an hour. A man of his quality, he's going to take one eventually.
Well, we mentioned last week, there's his goals record in his 200 A-League matches. He's almost in double figures already for Western United. And to be fair, had he taken one of those earlier chances, he probably would have been already.
Wouldn't mind having another look at that. Sorry, Simon.
Go on.
The left back for Adelaide United, Maria, he just wasn't in the picture at all. I think it was Mile Uznic who was tracking back. Just wonder whether he had been there, he would be able to tuck in, close down the space that Berisha was able to find.
2 sighters. And the third one, he made no mistake. We mentioned last week he was starting to move up the top 10 of all-time National League goal scorers. He's now moved past Francis Awara-Tifi. He's 2 behind Pablo Cardozo on 127 goals. Ahead of them only Archie Thompson, 129, John Cosmina, 133, Rod Brown, 137, and Damien Murray a long way ahead, 240. Here's Halloran as Adelaide try to restore their advantage, which lasted just 2 minutes. Ryan Strain. It's all very crowded in there. Riley McGree has somehow wriggled clear. Too far over the head of Blackwood, but down for Mile Uznic, who caught it quite sweetly. Curto right behind it. Berisha trying to return the compliment for Max Burgess, who teed him up for that equalising goal. Win in the air by Oscar Dillon. Scotardis, no foul by Troisi. And places it beautifully in behind Dillon. George Blackwood's away here, squares it up. It's 2 for Adelaide and 2 for Nikola Mile Uznic. And again, it's those 2, Blackwood and Mile Uznic. What a start to this game at Whitten Oval.
What a fantastic start to this game. Nikola Mile Uznic again. I thought initially there may have been a foul there from James Troisi. Referee happy to let it go, gets his head up. And this is where Adelaide improved last week in these transition moments. Good smart play from George Blackwood, gets his head up. It's his initial run in behind Dillon that gets Adelaide United in behind. Good firm pass across. Mile Uznic, no mistake, 2 goals for him already.
Goals are like buses for Nikola Mile Uznic. You wait for ages for one and then a couple arrive together. Just the second time he's hit a double in the A-League. What a first quarter of an hour. We have just got a slight delay while Kurt Amps confirms that everything is okay with the VAR. Alex King in the booth today. I presume they're just checking on an offside for Milojevic. Unless you spotted something different.
Well, I'm just not sure about that tackle from James Charisse in the middle of the park. Whether
that's also a possibility.
He's protecting the ball. Maybe he's come into his back. Haven't had a real close look at it, but it looks like they've given it the all clear.
Yep. Not a clear and obvious enough error, if indeed it was.
Every time, Kurt, every time.
3 goals in the space of 5 minutes. Here's Troisi, who got that move started for the Reds. Michael Maria. Sliding challenge by Riston. Durante passing responsibility on to Jonathan Aspro. Jakobsen, touched by Troisi. Forward by Aspro, chested down by Berisha. Oh, the boot was high from Skotadis. And quickly taken free kick. Adelaide eager to get on with things. Riley McGree driving into the box. And couldn't wrap his boot around it enough to trouble Philip Curto.
Well, this is the kind of football Adelaide United coach Gert-Jan Verbeek likes to play. He loves his team to go forward. I mentioned earlier that last week I felt in those transition moments when they got an opportunity to go forward, they were a lot better than they'd been in recent weeks. And already you can see tonight, every time they get that opportunity to drive into space or to play forward quickly, that's what they've done, and they've got a lot of early joy from that.
Curto under pressure, as was Dillon. And he opted to get rid, which is probably wise.
Not the type of pass you really want to be receiving from the goalkeeper, and good play, sorry, not to take any risk and just to clear that ball away.
What used to be termed a hospital ball. Here's Elsie. Ryan Strahan furthest forward for the Reds, off the head of Connor Payne. Ben Halloran and Riley McGree! 3-1 Adelaide United. And Riley McGree is back on the score sheet after a 2-game absence, his 8th of the season. And he does remain the Reds' most likely source of goals, along with Milojevic today. And we've had 4 goals in 18 minutes. Remarkable.
Well, whatever troubles Adelaide United have been having in the last month, they seem to have gotten rid of all of those in this opening 18 minutes. Riley McGree again. I mentioned involved early inside the opposition 18-yard box. Able to get the ball under control and lash it home with the left foot. Good pass from Halloran. Adelaide United, they're looking slick. Does take a slight deflection. Maybe just put Curto off. This is an electric start from Adelaide United.
Yeah, I think that touch really does for Philip Curto. But take nothing away from Riley McGree. His touch was short and knew he had to hit it with his next touch. He did so with real power and accuracy. Well, quite frankly, Robbie, this game could be 5-all already. So many opportunities. Skotadis, a little bit heavy for Payne.
It's been enjoyable, hasn't it?
Very much so. There's a good vibe around Whit Noble as well. Zizzo has to clear under pressure. Melbourne CBD providing a picturesque backdrop.
Despite their position heading into this, Adelaide United, I think I'm right in saying they led the league in shots per game, balls into the opposition penalty area and territory. So it's no surprise to see them up and about in that front third. Really done well and taken their chances so far.
It's a beautiful release for Halloran. He's going to have a go at Connor Payne here. Dangerous ball in low and hard again. Kone deep inside his own penalty area. Diamanti looking for contact, not going to get the whistle. It's Troisi. The deflection this time favours Curto.
Halloran on this right-hand side and Mile Uznic, they're having a wonderful start to this match. You see here again, not afraid to take on Connor Payne. It's a dangerous ball in. McGree was coming in unmarked again.
Brought down by Strain off the head of Berisha. Oh, and that touch was important from Durante. If he doesn't make that, Blackwood's in.
See the game plan of Adelaide United, those forward runs. George Blackwood, when Adelaide win that ball in midfield, looking to run in behind. I think the reason for that is we know how good Western United can be when they get players behind the ball, sit in that block, they're well disciplined, good structure. And the space is there. Once Adelaide United win the ball back quickly and they go forward, that's when they're getting the most joy.
Halloran finds the space for McGree. Maria. Mile Uznic. McGree hitting it in low. Philip Curto acrobatically away. Mile Uznic on a hat-trick, of course. Rebounds back off Durante, and then Michael Jakobsen had a lash at it from a long way out. At the moment, the Reds are just lining up one after the other. Strain. Troisi. Strain. All the way back through Jordan Elsey. Luis Dorigo. And again, fed by Troisi. Now they'll look to go. Halloran's pace on the right. And again, it's low and hard, but this time too close to Curto.
I mean, we're giving Adelaide United a lot of credit, which they deserve, but they're able to move the ball into the middle of the park under absolutely no pressure. The front three of Western United aren't really putting any pressure on Adelaide United's back four. You see there how easily they move the ball into midfield. They're able to turn and slide a through ball back through the Western United defence, and two things have got to happen. United are going to have to step up because they're 3-1 down at the moment, and they need some pressure on the ball from their midfield and from their front line.
If they're not careful, the game could be out of reach. Maybe as early as half-time. We're only just past the midway point of the first half. Here's Jerry Skotadis. Dillon. One in the air by Elsey. Touch back by Burgess. That's a useful ball by Durante. Intelligent. Diamante. Quite enough flight on it for Berisha, who scampers after the loose ball. And that's handball against Ben Halloran, who believed he'd been fouled in the first instance. Now wants to continue that conversation.
Looked a foul on Halloran to me. I thought Berisha had gone through him. I think it was smart play from Halloran, a little step over, and then he's clipped, I thought. But you've got to play to the whistle, and it's a little bit silly of him to grab the ball. Dangerous free kick, and we know his quality. Diamante on the delivery.
Rudham must hope that he puts an absolute peach in here, because after his team drew level in the 12th minute, it's all gone a little awry for Western United. So Diamante's free kick, and the appeal for handball. And those appeals are heeded in favour of Adelaide. Let's go down to Archie Thompson, who's pitch side for us tonight, enjoying all the goalmouth action, Archie.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Yeah, beautiful atmosphere, actually. Funny enough, I just live up the road. It's a 5-minute run, so I might duck home after half-time. But, yeah, Adelaide started really, really well. And what they're using, too, is the wind. You can't tell from up there, but the wind is definitely favouring Adelaide, so they can play long balls in, use the speed of Mile Uznic and also Kiddo and O'Halloran in the wide places. But what Robbie just touched on, there's not enough pressure on the ball. I can see that Rudes isn't very happy. He just wants a bit more pressure on the ball, because they're just allowed to play at the moment, Adelaide, and there just seems to be a metre off the pace at the moment.
You're going to run home, Archie. You brought your sneakers.
You saw me move yesterday, mate. I'm still sore. I got a wheelchair in, actually, to the game.
I think you've got a problem, mate. Here's Maria on the left. Miljusnic. Little slip there, which just opened up the gap momentarily for Maria. It's surely a foul on Kone. It is.
Kone took a risk there. Looked as though he was thinking that ball might just roll out of play. In the end, had to try to dribble his way out of danger. You see here, luckily for himself, he was fouled and relieved the pressure.
Got a little shove from Michael Maria. Not exactly the area of the pitch that you want a talent like Panayotis Kone.
He's got to get back and do his job defensively as well. Seen very little of Josh Risdon and Payne getting forward.
Well, they're tracking back again, and Miljusnic has got away from Aspro. It's behind McGree. Darigo complete this kick.
Lovely move again. I think he had a bit of time. He could have maybe taken a touch and put that on his more favoured right foot.
Here's Kone. Touch too strong for Skatadis.
First 10 or so minutes was fairly even. Western United probably with the better of the chances, and then this last 15 minutes it's been all Adelaide United.
And Halloran's seen an awful lot of the ball on the right. Held up by Dillon. Gets the cross in second time around, and Riley McGree charging at the ball. They've got a bit of debate about whether it should be a corner or a goal kick. Goal kick is the verdict in the end.
Far too much room again out wide for Adelaide. Halloran at the second attempt. It's better defending this time from Western United.
Off the head of Jakobsen, and then Elsie. It's a foul, clumsy on McGree. So the lights come on at Whitten Oval. Max Burgess sort of sums up the last 15-20 minutes for, well, certainly the last 15 for Western United.
Push on, Jerry, push on.
A bit to chew on for Mark Roden. Square by Troisi for Michael Maria. Strain is advancing down the right. He's called for it a couple of times now. He ultimately gets it. Here goes Halloran again.
See Beshat Barissa on the edge of the circle inside of his own half, and Adelaide United still able to receive the ball in midfield and face forward. It's one thing to drop behind the ball, but you need to put pressure on the men carrying it forward. I don't think they've done that anywhere near well enough in this first half an hour.
I'm sure Mark Redden would agree with you. Ball returned from whence it came by Jakobsen. Here's where they need to push up and try and apply a bit of pressure on the ball.
They've just cleared the ball up to the halfway line, and I think that the back five moved a whole of 1 metre forward. Troisi received it in the middle of their half and turned and faced forward.
To be fair, Robbie, it has been a feature of their play this season, hasn't it? Certainly,
I can understand
after the first few games that they do sit back, but normally they've got a goal or two in front by then. Here's McGree trying to steal him behind, but Durante heads him off and will get the foul.
That's exactly the point I was about to make. Last week they were 3-0 up against Central Coast inside half an hour. In the second half they decided to sit back and manage the game. They limited Central Coast to only a handful of opportunities. They defended their box rather well, but this is in the first half an hour and you're 3-1 down. I wonder if they've got a plan B.
Well, the good news for Western United, not necessarily for Hercham Babake, is that Western United have picked up 10 points so far this season from losing positions. Of course, they're not just one goal down, they're two at the moment. Here's Burgess, maybe a chance for them to get one back. Adelaide a bit stretched. Couple of step overs from Max Burgess. The shot blocked though by Jakobsen. Reset through Diamante. Oh, it was awkward for Rizzo. And he had to backpedal and deal with that one because he wasn't sure whether that would have just dropped into that top corner.
He did what he needed to do. Difficult one for a goalkeeper. Easy to lose your bearings. See Max Burgess originally danced his way into the penalty area. Well defended from Adelaide.
Corner's been taken short. Diamante, we got it back from Riston. We'll get another go, same side. So far this season for the Italian, 2 from the penalty spot. Now he's taking the corner, good tail to it, drops for Dillon. Kone had to turn backwards to control the ball, gets it back off Payne. Skotadis. Payne again. Durante was furthest forward, now he's got to track back. As Adelaide are on the move through George Blackwood. And there was a foul on Blackwood, but advantage play because he's found McGree on the left. Halloran and Blackwood now in the box. Miljusnic joining them. McGree, little back heel, but quite know where James Troisi was. Let's see if Western United can catch the Reds again in transition. Payne. Skotadis. Burgess. Square by Dillon for Aspro. Nothing really on for the green and black.
You can see Adelaide United, they've got a really high line and they're really compact as well.
Stretch that by Halloran, important touch. He's had a really good first half an hour, Ben Halloran, not just in an attacking sense either, but he works back. Not trying to put in for the team, and he's about to give chase there, but fortunately for him, he was able to save his breath.
Yeah, it's probably the best half an hour of football I've seen him play this season. Constant threat going forward and getting back and helping Ryan's train in defence. So we've seen very little of Connor Payne getting forward. It's partly down to good tracking and good work from Halloran.
Yet to sign a new deal with the Reds, but says he'd like to stay. There's Maria meantime. And McGree, not quite able to keep it alive. They look dangerous every time they go forward, Gertjan Verbeek's team.
Not to state the obvious, but next goal is going to be extremely important in this one. I think if Adelaide are able to get the next one, just about game over at 4-1. We know Western United's quality, as you mentioned, coming from behind, but really, really important period of this match leading into half-time.
These stats sort of underline the scoreboards. 63% territorial dominance for the Reds, and they've had 11 shots so far. Aspo again turns back. Oscar Dillon, who arrived at the club from the Gold Coast Knights, made his debut last week.
It's really good defending from Adelaide. I mentioned earlier, they've got the high line, they're compact, putting pressure on the ball. The only option for Western United at the moment is a ball in behind. That's the only danger Adelaide need to be aware of. Sitting only that 10 or so yards inside their own half.
Payne. That's the gap for Skotadis. Could open up for Western United here. Payne available. Skotadis. That really should have been 3-2.
That was the opening. Played their way through really, really well. A little bit of a mix-up between Strain and Troisi in the midfield. He had the option of Payne on the outside. I don't know if the cutback was really on. Berisha was at the far post, had a marker with him. Haven't seen that enough, though, from Western United.
Scotardis, of course, a defensive midfielder, perhaps not the most natural of finishers. He did have Connor Payne available. I'm sure was screaming for it. But, opted to go himself. Riston clips it inside, but nobody's there for Western United. Picked up in the deep though by Scotardis. And Riston, if he can keep it alive, but he can't. Would have had open pasture there.
Returned from injury last week, had a very good game. Thought he'd got himself on the score sheet, but I think it went down as an own goal for Kyle Rolls.
Yeah, did indeed. Let's go back down to Archie Thompson. Your thoughts, Archie, on the game?
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, with the high line with Adelaide, I think the way they play that is because there's not much pace in that front line when you look at Western United. And also, too, the wind is quite gusty when it's going that way. So a lot of the balls that Western United do play in behind tend to go on a little bit further. So, with Mark Rudin, too, he's a little frustrated that there's not enough speed on the ball with the movement.
Ben Halloran showing plenty of that at the moment. Showing Connor Payne a clean pair of heels, but the little tap back was intended for Dorigo. It didn't quite find its mark. Scotardis works it out to Burgess. Diamante. Scotardis, bit of room to drive into, but he opts not to. Square for Aspro. Back from Riston. A little bit of a lack of urgency there from Western United. Eventually they turn all the way back to Curto.
I think when that space opened up in the middle, they looked forward and could only see Barisha outnumbered in the line and really struggling to find pockets in that space and in front of the United defence, where they received it just now.
Lovely release by Diamante. And Connor Payne gets the better of Ryan Strain. But the handball is given against Payne. Kurt Am's adamant. Connor Payne saying no chance. Have another look.
Sigh of relief from Ryan Strain because he doesn't commit really into that one. Just strike him on the arm. It's alongside the body. Connor Payne was in.
Apologies for the fruity language from Connor Payne, showing a little bit of frustration after he was denied that opportunity a moment or two ago. Michael Maria. McGree. Exchanging passes with Troisi. Jakobsen. And LC. Space here for Milosnic to turn and assess his options. Halloran, a little bit careless. That's better for the Reds. At least it was until Milosnic lost his touch.
Luckily for Western United that Adelaide were a little bit sloppy there because there was openings for them to turn and face forward once again.
Troisi looking to float it over the top by the head of Aspro.
Spoke about it a little bit last night. Halloran's coming inside, occupying that middle. Connor Payne's having to come in, and then Ryan Strain from the right fullback positions all the way forward. And Max Burgess has to come all the way back and defend. Once Western United win the ball, it's very difficult for them to go forward.
Lovely weight on that for McGree. Little drag back and ball for Luis Dorigo. Who fires one over the top of the crossbar and looks rather disappointed with that.
A couple of times when he has received the ball on the edge of the area, Dorigo just lacking that little bit of quality. He's had a wonderful season.
Isn't he just taking over the boots of, well, not literally the boots, but the footprints of Isaias. Izzo out to clear. The last 5 minutes of goal-laden first half at Whitton Oval. Max Burgess with Ryan Strain at his back. And the throw goes Adelaide's way.
That's the definition of tracking your runner, isn't it? From one side
Wherever
of the
he
field
goes.
all the way across to the opposition, sorry, the opposite corner flag from right back.
Well, that was perhaps his instructions from Hertjan Verbeek. Wherever he goes, you follow. Milosnic. They could open up the pitch here, the Reds. Blackwood, Halloran. Western United a bit stretched again. It's Ben Halloran, and that's a really vital block by Oscar Dillon, because that was moving goalwards. Good spin by Burgess meantime. Kone gets clear of both Maria and Dorigo. Could be something brewing here for Western United. Good chase back by Milosnic to deny Diamanti.
It's the second time in quick succession we've seen an opposition, a fullback, sorry, all the way on the opposite side. It's almost as though Elsie and Jakobsen are taking care of Berisha and the fullback's doing the rest.
Diamanti. Riston. Conte creeping forward down the left, fed now by Skotadis. Little give and go with Max Burgess. Useful ball in, 3-2. There he is again, Besart Berisha. A double for him on his double hundreds. And Mark Ruden's team are back in it just before the break.
Give Western United some credit. Haven't put their heads down, continue to play. And they've got themselves back in it. Connor Payne with a little 1-2. Strain and Halloran unable to deal with him. And in the middle, two centre halves against the one striker, and no one gets near him. Jakobsen doesn't go with the run of Berisha, and he gets himself a second in this first half. That's the goal that Western United needed.
Hey, it's a good finish too from Berisha, because it's a bit of an awkward height. The Western service crew celebrating in the stands. And that's what he's paid to do. What a lift that might give Western United.
For as good as they've been, that's poor defending from Adelaide United. Well, Jordan Elsey was really, really solid last week. He and Jakobsen really had to take care of Berisha. A striker of that quality pounces at the right moment.
So both Berisha and Milosnic now on hat-tricks. And Maria's turned the ball over. Could it get even better for Western United? Swept away by Elsey. Sorted out by Aspro. And Durante's going to have to get there ahead of Blackwood. A little bit sloppy by Western United again. They've got away with it. And now here's Kone. Berisha standing way offside, saying, "Don't pass the ball to me." Kone finds Diamanti. Not his best effort of the night, the Italian.
No, it wasn't. He was looking for Burgess. Brisbane had pushed forward right over on that right-hand side, was in plenty of space. Diamante went the opposite way.
Approaching half-time, Robbie. If it's goals you're after, what a terrific first half this has been. Brilliant. And there might be more yet. Blackwood. That'll be Curtos. Now, what's your assessment on a more cerebral level, not just the goals?
I think it's been a good game. It's been entertaining. I think Western United probably with more work to do than Adelaide at half-time. Sounds obvious, the fact that Adelaide are ahead and Berisha could be in behind again.
Here is Berisha. First touch took him a little wider than he wanted. Diamanti's there, though. Couldn't quite retain possession. Adelaide dig it out. Just an update on something that happened after the Berisha's second goal. Bert got a yellow card for throwing his water bottle down. Might be celebrating in a minute. Here's Miliusnic, Riley McGree. Over the top it goes. Goodness me, barely time to catch your breath in this game.
3-2 at this stage. If we go in at half-time, I'm quite sure both managers are going to be rather upset. You see Gert-Jan Verbeek not happy about the way they conceded that second goal.
Sticking tightly hold of that water bottle at least. You can imagine that he gets rather angry at half-time, Mr. Verbeek, if things aren't going the way he wanted them to.
Usually when you're away from home and you go in at half-time, a goal to the good, your manager might be pleased, but I think this last 5 minutes or so, they've probably dropped off a little bit.
3 minutes of stoppage time. We've played a minute of those now. Turned up by Diamante. Durante.
Play the inside run. Play the inside run.
Dylan back to Curto.
Every day you're inside run.
Here, Mark Rudin telling Connor Payne to make that run in behind. If he doesn't get the ball, frees up a lot of space on this left-hand side.
Payne trying to nip in ahead of Strayed, not able to do so. Halloran, Troisi. Connor Payne brings him down in rather rudimentary fashion. Jakobsen, Maria. Troisi showing, but Jakobsen ignoring him initially. Ball again looking to get Miliusnic in behind. Maybe the final attacking play of very entertaining first 45. It's got to be a proper throw, says Kurt Amps. Well, first half that has had plenty to commend it. Lots of attacking intent. 2 goals for Nikola Miliusnic, and 2 as well at the other end on the occasion of his 200th A-League appearance for Besart Berisha. The second of those coming with just a couple of minutes of the first half to play, which brought Western United back into the game after Riley McGree had hit his 8th of the season and put the Reds 3-1 up. At the interval, though, it is Adelaide by 3 goals to 2. Let's go down to Archie Thompson.
Yes, here with Miliusnic, mate. You had a lot of joy with balls in behind. Was that the game plan at the start of the match?
Yeah, definitely. We knew we had to hit him on transition, and we needed to play the first ball forward, and I think we did that well. And then we've been getting the balls in the box with some quality, and it's pretty much it's easy going when you get the balls coming in like that. So yeah, we're doing well, but we did concede 2 goals, so we're still on the front foot, but we'll look to come out straight at half-time.
Yeah, you must be disappointed because you seem to be cruising at 3-1. You concede a goal like that. Should you be going into dressing rooms feeling a little bit easier?
Yeah, we weren't planning on conceding that goal so close to half-time, but yeah, we have to go in, we have to tighten up at the back, and we know they've got quality going forward and all around the park, so we knew that could hurt us, and we tried to eliminate it as much as we could, but we're doing as best as we can. I think we're going all right so far. So
best luck for second half. Thanks, mate. Cheers. What an entertaining first half. Stay tuned and we'll analyse that first half. Myself, Robbie Cornflake and Adam Peacock.
Sorry. So just goals, I guess, Ian?
Adelaide Roos Kickoff is a perfect international program of football for girls and boys aged between 4 and 9 years old. Each session is 45 minutes of games and activities to help the kids improve their confidence and boost their social skills. It's fun and safe, and it could be a platform for future Hyundai A-League star. Find the program near you, winnieroos.com.
As one of the Fox crew just left his... See, there's a... I think there's a... So, Ian, you there, mate?
What are you talking to me?
No, I'm
I was
just...
staring at you. What? Yeah.
What's the order?
Yeah. I've got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, but what?
Yeah.
So, yep. Yep.
What? Yeah. I'm not hearing anything, but I can hear the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just tell me the packages. What packages have you got? Yep. Yep.
Hey, Squiggy.
Oh, they're all separate.
Oh,
Pies for the bush.
beautiful.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
hearing anything,
yep.
no, but
Third and fourth. Yep. Okay, cool.
What a first
Who
half.
wants a overall comment?
Oh, I've just done a whole heap. I don't give.
Yeah,
I don't
Arch,
care
just
either way.
give us a short.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? This game's on friggin' WizFizz or something like that.
yeah, no drama.
Mila Uslich goal.
Yep.
Barisha goal. Barisha goal. Yeah, no, Adelaide top.
Yes,
And then
I can hear it.
The
Yeah.
Adelaide second and third goals are together
Cool.
as one hit.
Yep.
And then the Barisha goal at the end.
Cool.
Rudes the whole time was screaming at Jerry
Yeah.
Skadatis
Pressure.
to pressure Troisi.
Yeah.
And he'd go, so Troisi had dropped.
Singing You're the Voice, please welcome Ballard Page.
Welcome back to Australia Day Football live on Fox Sports. That was a weird half of football. 5 goals. It was just loose and out there, and yeah, it was like everyone had been to the Australia Day lunchtime barbecue and come to football, and things took a while to warm up, and strikers were having sights on goal and scoring. Welcome back, Adam Peacock alongside Archie Thompson and Robbie Cornthwaite. Arch, can
Yes.
you make sense of what we've just seen? Because I can't.
Well, it's entertaining. That's what we want to see. We want to see football like that. We want to see teams scoring. From Western United's point of view, they started brightly, but then faded away and gave too much time to Adelaide. And then Adelaide were allowed to pick passes off. I feel like, though, that with the conditions, that the balls were holding up for a lot of those runs for the Adelaide players in behind. That'll benefit probably Western United in the second half, but Western United did really well to get back into that game. It looked like Adelaide would go into the dressing room feeling really happy after that half.
First goal, Adelaide United's goal. Did you see that coming, Robbie, and did you see what was coming in the half hour after it?
I don't know if I saw what was coming in the half hour after it, but we saw the intent from Adelaide United, and they spoke about it during the week, these transition moments. George Blackwood, he's had a great opening first half. You see him face forward here, whip one across, and I mean, the ball ends up in the back of the net, but we could have seen this 5 or 6 times in the first half from Adelaide United, because the amount of runs, the amount of time they got in the opposition half and facing forward and able to get shots away has been staggering.
Best up Barisha had a lot of space, and I was sitting next to you, Archie, on the sideline remarking that Jakobsen and also Elsie, for some unknown reason, were a little bit hesitant to really close him down hard, and he made them pay.
Yeah, the amount of space that he was afforded was a lot, especially for someone of his calibre. And also, too, 200th game. So I know he's up for it. He wants to do well. I mean, those opportunities he did get, he was going to take one of them. Outstanding to make that sort of position, but from my point of view, from an Adelaide point of view, to allow someone of his quality that much space, I'm sure at half-time that's going to be addressed.
Just from a tactical point of view, you see Michael Maria go into the middle of the park looking to pick up Kone. Might be a message from the manager to put pressure on the ball, but if the ball doesn't go there, you can't go. You can't guess. You have to wait till the pass is made, then you go out and close the ball, because he left a big hole behind him.
Having a look at the next 2 goals from Adelaide, the first one, Troisi drops deep, and I do remember Mark Rudin just screaming at, or not screaming, having a conversation with Bessart Berisha after it about the pressing that wasn't going on in the lead up to all of that, and Troisi gets time and he's going to pick a pass.
Exactly right. Time on the ball for any player in the middle of the park's dangerous, and that allows the front 3 of Adelaide United to constantly make these runs in behind. The back 3 or back 5 of Western United, they've got no time to push up. Fundamental rule of football, you can't push up when the opposition's got time of the ball. They run back towards their own goal, and this Western United side isn't one that's blessed with pace.
Yeah, and make no mistake, that ball from Troisi was a great ball. Like the weight was perfect, the run from Blackwood. Curto, I feel, maybe in the 2 goals that Western United conceded, well, maybe he should have done better. I thought the one that Blackwood got around had a shot, he parried it across. I actually thought he could have taken that one. Little slight deflection in that 3rd goal, but I still felt like he could have got down better to that. But again, Troisi is a real presence, and he hasn't been in the team for the last few weeks, and you can tell what he makes. I mean, for a number 10, it's an art to find space, and he does it so well. But he's also too, when you've got the speed of O'Halloran and also Mile Uznic, he can just pick passes. If you don't close the ball down when he's got it, there's going to be danger.
The goal to Berisha just on the cusp of half-time, does it change everything, Robbie?
I think so. I think it does. I said during the first half the next goal was going to be all-important one, and Berisha is the man that pops up. We know Gert-Jan Verbeek picked up a yellow card in the aftermath. I felt like he was frustrated at his own team. He threw that bottle because of... I think he's thrown the bottle because they've conceded a little bit of miscommunication, I don't know, on that right-hand side. I think Halloran's had a fantastic first half, but Payne's able to get in easily, and then the 2 centre-backs in the middle, they just let Berisha get away.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Mark Rudan, the Western United manager, after it. Unfortunately, Archie, your The Voice has just finished, because I know you wanted to join in the last chorus out there. You're popping away there anyway. There's another song on the way. We're off to a quick break. A reminder, with the football season still going on Fox Sports, the footy is just around the corner as well.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello, I can hear you.
Got me? Good.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay, we're speaking of Rudes, yes. Mark Rudan.
Say again?
We're going to be speaking to Mark Rudan, yes?
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
watching around the planet, welcome to Fox Footy. Oh, he's not in!
If you don't mind, have you seen anything like that before? Working hard, he controlled it brilliantly.
Oh, that's through the top. That's it. Look at that emotion. Where else in the world would you rather be?
Welcome back to Whitten Oval for the second half of Western United and Adelaide United. 3-2 to the Reds at the break. 2 of those for Nikola Miljuznic. What are Western United going to do about that? Let's try and find out. Mark Rudin, the head coach of the club, is waiting to talk to us. So, Rudes, I'd imagine that was rather a frustrating first half in many ways for you.
Very much so. You know, when you compare it to last week, we just went to sleep for those first 20 minutes. I mean, we could have got a goal in the first minute or so, but we didn't. We got ourselves back into it, but we just went to sleep. Just poor defending. You know, just some real poor mistakes. But we got ourselves back into the game with the second one, and you know, we're looking to press them a little bit more, particularly Troisi and the young player as well in the middle of the park.
Rudes, we know your side's very good at sitting back, soaking up pressure in the structure, but the amount of space and time Adelaide got to turn and face forward, was that a real concern for you?
Absolutely. We worked on it all week, and yet they were able to find space and face forward with possession of the ball and playing behind us all the time. So, you know, we're looking to rectify that obviously in the second half, but I wasn't happy with it, Robbie.
We wish you well, Rudes. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it. It's Mark Rudin, head coach of Western United. No changes made by the coach at the break. But, Adelaide, of course, looking to return to the top 6. They can leapfrog Western United, go 5th if they get the points today. That's overhit by James Troisi.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room at half-time, because when a manager comes out and says that's something we worked on all week and it doesn't happen on the field, usually they want to know why.
They've had to make a fair bit of changes to that back 3, the back 5, if you want to call it that, throughout the course of the campaign. And now, of course, Ersin Gulam has gone back to Turkey. Aaron Calver on the injury list. Brendan Hamill out for the season. Doesn't help, does it? Here's Connor Payne, though. Slight slip from Ben Halloran, who was excellent throughout that first half. Maybe that's one of the readjustments Mark Rudin wants to make, to keep him a little quieter.
Sometimes the best form of defence is attack, and maybe if you can get Risden and Payne involved a little bit more in that front third, you can already see the starting position from them two is a lot higher, and try to pin maybe the Adelaide wide men back a little bit more.
Here is Risden galloping forward down the right and looking to feed in Bessar Barisha.
I don't think we saw Josh Risden get a cross in the first half, did we?
Not many occasions, that's for sure. Diamante slips it through, finds a bit of room here for Panayotis Kone. He can only find the side netting. Adelaide racked up 14 shots in that first half of the game. It is actually the first time they've taken the lead in an away game this season by scoring the first goal. This was the man who scored it, Nikola Miljuznic. He was trying to tee up Ronnie McGree for a second, but Durante had front position, and it's a corner.
Almost as you were from the first half. Miljuznic, very, very positive. You just think if that ball managed to squeeze its way through, George Blackwood was unmarked at the far post. Again, Adelaide doing damage in those wide areas.
Corner for the Reds, Luis Dorigo, whose father, I can tell you, stood just in front of us watching his son in towards the near post. Met by Kone.
It's met by Kone, but he was lucky that Halloran didn't get a piece of it because he wasn't trailing a metre or two behind.
Kurt Am's just saying wait for the whistle, which arrives now. Go in towards that head post again. It came off a Western United head. Might have been Skotadis this time. Diamante. Quite sure what he was trying to do there. Here's Michael Jakobsen looking to blast it towards goal. Charged down by Durante. Squirms away though from Berisha, who's giving chase now for Blackwood. Well defended at the end by SR Berisha. Not really his normal go. Nice footwork by Burgess. And now Durante. Again, Risdon has pushed up high on that right-hand side. Kept in field by Aspro. Durante, I think he was fully expecting Connor Payne to have taken up a similar position to Josh Risdon. Unfortunately for him, he hadn't.
It's good play by Western United. They looked as though they were hemmed in on that left-hand side. Burgess did well to keep the ball for his team and came out on the right. As you say, Durante was looking for Connor Payne, who wasn't there. I think one factor in this game, we heard Archie mention the wind, but we also got to mention the weather, the temperature. It's really, really favourable conditions to play football, nice and cool. Allows these players to make these runs in behind.
Talking of which, here's Connor Payne, fed nicely by Oscar Dillon. He's got away from Halloran. Couldn't find the finish.
That's his chance. First touch let him down. So he was able to get him behind and just doesn't get enough contact to push the ball out in front of him. Else he gets across the cover. Halloran takes a risk going to ground.
High press from Western United, looking to force the turnover.
Didn't see much of this in the first half.
No, we didn't. Hardly anything. But Maria wins the header ahead of Risdon and continues the run. Michael Maria, and still going. Michael Maria, what a goal this would be. Good save, Curto. Aspro gets his head on it, and Maria again. It's out for a throw off Aspro, but it was a mesmerising run from the left fullback.
Oh, it was a fantastic run, wasn't it? We saw a solo run from Nick D'Agostino last night. Maria, had he put that in the back of the net, would have been some goal. He's got a lot of attacking ability.
He's taking the throw, which Milosnic tries to help on. McGree almost got a piece of it. Here's Troisi. James Troisi, Curto brave again.
Flag is up on that far side.
Curto wasn't to know that. Two really good stops, although that one would not have counted. Adelaide continue to probe and find openings.
I think it's this one here, off the heel of McGree to Milosnic. Yeah, nice Treacy again. I have to say, Adelaide United, they get their midfielders, Treacy and McGree, in the penalty area so often. That's a large part of their success, isn't it? Those deep runs, late runs into the box.
By contrast, how often have we seen Kone, Diamanti, Skotadis, look to be obstruction that by Diamanti, incidentally. Here is Kone driving into the box now. On a few occasions he's been there, and he'll get a corner off Milosnic. There was a suspicion of a foul, though, by Diamanti in the build-up there. Western United supporters, they're active fans, the Western Service crew. Diamanti with the return from Risdon. It's over the head of Paul Izzo. Aspro not quite able to get on the end of it. Might get a second bite at it. Risdon again, and Kone. Too high. That's better from the home side.
Two balls of real quality in quick succession. Diamante first on that right foot. It was well cleared. Back out to Josh Risdon, who has got wonderful delivery. Kone was up well. Couldn't direct his header on target.
It's good to see Western United playing a lot higher up the park. They have to, of course.
Well, in that first half, they're just inviting Adelaide United onto them. Now they've got an opportunity to win the ball higher up. They're asking a different question of Adelaide United now. Good battle between the two managers.
A spin from Kone. Looking for Risdon. Milosnic tracks it. Oh, that's short from Troisi, and Diamanti has pinched it. Burgess darts into the box. Diamanti desperately jockeying for position. Finds the angle now. Away by Strain. Reset through Skotadis, and now Aspro. There's a bit more urgency about Western United.
Yeah, I think even the ball movement's a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper in possession.
It's not the best, though, from Burgess.
Mentioned at half-time the lack of pace in this Western United side. Once they turn the ball over, they've got to be careful of that counter-attack now.
They want it back again, though. Here's a chance for Alessandro Diamanti. Yes! And we are back all square. And it's a beauty off the left peg of Alessandro Diamanti.
Well, Western United 3-1 down, back to 3-3. They've made some changes at half-time. Mark Rudin asked his team to get in the faces a little bit more of Adelaide United. This is a poor giveaway. Straight pass from Jordan Elsey. And Diamante is always going to come back on that left foot of his. Would have liked to see Jakobsen force him on his right, even if he gets a shot away. Allows him to come inside. Once that space opens up, you know where the ball's going.
Well, his surname translates to diamond in Italian, and that he most certainly is. And as soon as the ball reached him in that sort of position, you just sensed the net was going to bulge.
Exactly right. Far too much space in transition. Poor giveaway from Adelaide United. Straight pass, as I mentioned. Dorigo not strong enough. The turnover, and they're punished for it.
Oh, what a game. From 3-1 down, as you rightly point out, Robbie, to back all square. Already this is proving to be a real entertaining game for the neutrals. It's by far the highest scoring game of the round. Making up for the lack of goals we had yesterday, I guess, in the A-League. Just that late winner for Corey Brown in Gosford for Brisbane against the Mariners. Stalemate between City and Perth, but we've made up for it today.
It's a real strength of this Western United side, the character in the team, to be able to come back. It's 3 or 4 occasions, I think 10 points, you might have mentioned, Simon, from behind, from losing positions. And you've got to give some credit to Mark Rudin, because to get his side to react so quickly after half-time, maybe this is what they were working on during the week. We're finally seeing it.
He's clearly read the riot act to his team at half-time. Still got to be mindful defensively. It's Milosnic here for the Reds, looking to restore their lead. Swept out by McGree to Halloran on the right. And Luis Dorigo gets right underneath it.
It's easy to see the one area of Dorigo's game he needs to work on, because that's the 3rd occasion he's received the ball in that type of position. He's made a poor decision. Tried to take the strike on twice, once with the left, once with the right, for the same result. Just needs a little bit more composure there.
Rudin not happy with his goalkeeper there, I don't think.
That's not to say I wouldn't have put the ball exactly where Dorigo put it had I been in the same situation.
You and me both, mate.
Come on, fucking come!
Yes, not happy, Mark Rudin, with his goalkeeper. I think Hurchimba Baker's slowly coming to the boil as well. Fascinating last half an hour we've got here in Footscray. Troisi. Oh, what a ball. What a ball from Troisi. Halloran's onto it. Ben Halloran goes towards the near post, second bite at it. And Michael Maria trying to place it. Desperate defending by Western United. And now they could launch a counter themselves. It's Diamante on the ball. The options were slow to appear, but Burgess will work it out to Connor Payne. Halloran desperately trying to get back. It's Burgess again. It's Max Burgess. And it's wide, but plenty for the crowd again to get excited about. It's end-to-end stuff.
Fantastic ball from James Troisi in behind, releasing Halloran. There's plenty of numbers in the box for Western United, able to cancel it out. Couple of attempts. Fell to Maria on his non-preferred before Western United broke forward.
Here they come again through Kone. Riston spotted the run of Connor Payne. Oh, and he and Halloran collide. There was plenty of appeals, but perhaps tellingly, mostly from the stands.
Nothing in it for me. defending, if anything. Halloran just almost stands his ground.
Yeah, nothing in that.
It looks as though he might have picked up an injury, unfortunately, for United.
That would be a blow. He has been very, very good, Ben Halloran. Still down inside his own penalty area. So Western United effectively playing against 10. He's back up on his feet now. Rather gingerly, it must be said. Spro for Diamante, and Riston's away from Maria. The back heel for Kode. Brought down by Skotadis, but it was a heavy touch. Skotadis has atoned for that.
He had to, because United had numbers forward. Sorry, Simon.
Offside against Riston.
Skotadis in the middle of the park. Much improved performance since half-time. He's the one that won the ball back for his side.
Burgess picks the pocket of Strain. Worked back by Berisha. Square by Skotadis. Diamante. Angle it in back towards Berisha. Adelaide launching forward, but Aspro cool as you like. Now with Payne. Enjoying themselves in the far corner of the main grandstand. A drop of the shoulder from Burgess. Headed from Payne, dropped Troisi's way. He sends Ben Halloran away down the right. Well-timed challenge by Burgess at the expense of a corner.
Good to see Halloran up and about. There was a little bit of concern for him a little earlier. It looked as though he was clutching at an upper leg injury. Maybe just taking a little bit of a knock.
Open and entertaining contest. Two teams in mid-table, battling for those final spots as we round the corner and turn for home. And Troyes is offside, rather stupidly. It's not a waste of an opportunity.
Yeah, it's not often you see that one. Usually it's the little layback from the corner taker, and his teammate usually whips it in directly. If you are going to run that set piece, you can see Jakobsen running across the goal line, I think it is. Quite often you might do that to try to keep the player taking the corner onside.
It's been pretty tight, that. Troisi, but linesman was pretty sure. Foul in favour of Western United, and Berisha is hurt. Halloran the offender, I think.
Jordan Elsey.
Yeah, it is Jordan Elsey, and he's just trodden inadvertently on that ankle as he went to ground. Berisha. Really does sting, doesn't it?
Sure would have had a few of those over the years. I might have even given him one myself.
I'm sure you did, Robbie. He's in real pain, is Besart Berisha. You can understand why, having watched that replay. Will be a bit swollen tomorrow.
Speaking of swollen, how's your body after yesterday's game?
Thanks, mate.
Looking a little bit ginger, walking up to the commentary box.
Yeah, the knees are a bit sore today. Not that I did too much running, let's be honest. I think Archie Thompson's in much better shape. Scored a good goal yesterday, didn't he, in that charity game? All for Rural Adelaide, of course. Here's Kone looking to float it in behind Miliusnic, but he and Maria take care of things for the Reds.
Yes, mate.
Archie, how are you pulling up after yesterday and your goal-scoring exploits?
Yeah, I'm swollen too. Yeah, is it bad that I was actually swollen before I even stepped onto the pitch? Yeah, a little, but I am feeling a lot better. And mind you, the Western United supporters will be feeling a lot better too, especially with the start they've made, really putting a lot of pressure on the Adelaide United time. And the manager of Adelaide United is a little bit disappointed about his team's effort also.
Thanks, Archie.
And yes, very swollen.
That's Archie, not her jumper bag.
Adelaide United struggling to get on the ball a little bit more this half, and I think this is what Mark Rudin would have expected from his side from the get-go. Game finally balanced at the moment.
Diamante went first time. Halloran wins the duel with Payne. Burgess. Opens the space up for Durante. Now Risdon. He's turned it over, has Risdon, but so too has Troisi. The Reds get the decision. Blackwood. Two heavy challenges really well there. George Blackwood has Miliusnic available. McGree in the middle. Miliusnic back for Troisi. Helped partly away by Kone. Cushion header by Strain. Halloran on the right. Back through Dorigo. Halloran. Strain. Maria. Troisi. Curl it in towards Blackwood. Dillon was strong. Kone to try and hold the ball up a little bit for Western United. And he draws the contact, gets the foul. Western United going to make a change shortly, I think. Dylan Parias is being readied.
Finished the arm, the right arm of Jakobsen around Kone. It was just good, strong defending, but you can't wrap your arms around your opponent.
Well, that was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, to be honest.
Yeah, initially I did as well, Simon, but that right arm was just reaching out and had hold of his hip. I think that was probably the issue.
You're the defender, Robbie. You know better than me. Parias sent away for the time being. I'm told to continue warming up.
I could be well off the mark here, but it looked as though Diamante's cancelled that substitution. He was in discussion with Mark Rudin, and almost immediately after that, he told Parias to go and continue warming up, and maybe Diamante's just feeling that ankle a little bit.
Coaching from the field as well as running affairs on it.
You've got to listen to your experience as players from time to time.
Yeah, of course.
Keep a close eye on that.
Did look pretty nasty when he went down last week against the Mariners. Diamante was immediately off. Played only half an hour. Well, it was a pretty good half an hour. Put on an absolute peach of a ball for Berisha to score the opener. Here's Kone. Driving down the right. Uses Diamante. Above the head of Berisha. Blackwood and Durante jostling for it. Blackwood's done really well, but slightly heavy touch. Georgie Blackwood filling in for Christian Obseth, and of course Al Hassan Toure still away with the Ollie Roos. Blackwood's still only 22. I wonder if he's fancying his chances of being in that squad Graham Arnold will name for Tokyo later on this year.
You'd have to think he'd be up against it, as with a number of other players. Take 3 over age, there's only spot for 15.
Here's Ryan Strain, and he's got away from his man. Here's McGree, just waiting to pull the trigger. Still might get a go. Troisi, you can see what he's trying to do. So difficult to execute that, trying to place it into the top corner. Ryan Strain driving down that right-hand side, got clear of Skotadis.
Western United defended these situations a lot better. Jonathan Aspro reading the play there, stepping out and taking the chance away from McGree.
Good chest down under pressure from Berisha. Diamanti, look at that. Terrific footwork. Still going Diamanti. Pay. Burgess at the back post. Looking to take the lead for the first time in the game. The home side. It's Max Burgess. Find the gap for the cross. Kone and Diamanti got in each other's way there a bit. Diamanti drop of the shoulder. Burgess onside. No, flag's gone up. Touch late, but it came eventually, and it was the right decision.
It was the right decision. I think that pass was intended for Josh Risdon, making the run from wide. Almost just hitting Burgess to see Risdon just getting ready to run in behind. I'm not sure whether Mileušnić would have cut it out anyway.
Decent stop by Izzo, he wasn't to know. So United considering that change again. I wonder if it will be Diamanti to come off. We shall see in a moment or two. Meantime, Panagiotis Kone. Berisha drifted offside. Kone again. Forward a lot more in this second half. Steered away by Strain, helped further clear by Maria. Konstantopoulos has been summoned by Herchin Babak as well. Starting to tick on towards the latter stages of the game. Changes imminent. A few of them, no doubt, over the next 5 or so minutes. Here's Blackwood into a useful area for Halloran. And Riley McGree, will it sit for him? It bobbles away and glances off the base of the post, I think. But the flag had been raised anyway. It was a promising moment for Adelaide. Blackwood putting it into a really good area there for Halloran. And McGree was offside.
Substitution for Western United coming off the pitch, number 19, Josh Risdon.
Changes afoot, and Josh Risdon to be replaced by Dylan Parias for Western United, and Nathan Konstantopoulos is on in place of James Troisi, who of course is just coming back after an injury absence. Like-for-like replacements. Diamanti, incidentally, continuing the conversation with his coach, Mark Rudin. Big characters in the Western United team. Halloran on the right. The Reds threatening again. A block by Dylan. Brought down by Dorigo. Clearing header from Aspro. Max Burgess on his way. Halloran in pursuit.
As this half wears on, opportunities for Adelaide United to becoming more and more on the counter-attack. Really struggling to retain the ball now. Western United looking in control. And the more they get their dangerous players on the ball, Adelaide United is starting to ask for a little bit of trouble.
In general terms, you'd say that's right, but Adelaide have still racked up more shots in the second half than the home side, 6-4.
That's the directness of Adelaide United. I mean, even in the first half, when they did go forward, they went forward really quickly when they did win the ball. They looked to finish the actions quickly. And a lot of the possession they had in the first half was up around the halfway line where Western United sort of let them have it.
Here's the stat that underlines your points, probably in a much clearer way. Second half, Western United 130 passes completed out of 149 attempted. Adelaide 63 from 78. Here's Miliusnic though, trying to bend it into the top corner. He puts it into the bar area behind the goal.
You know,
probably well sourced by now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun down there by the looks of things. That area sold out, 300 tickets. Good little initiative from Western United, and the crowd here has had plenty to enjoy tonight, this afternoon. It's been quite a good atmosphere, I must say. The game's obviously helped.
Yeah, it has a more intimate feel, doesn't it, than Geelong. Here's Josh Cavallo on for just his second A-League appearance in place of Connor Payne. His debut was pretty eventful. Came off the bench in the derby against Melbourne City. Won the penalty, got booked. Or one of the penalties that they scored. Also has a brother, Christian Cavallo, who was also on the books of Melbourne City, which is where he started his career. Now operating on that left-hand side, and Oscar Dillon trying to find him. And does so. Straight into the action. Bowled over though by Dorigo. And the Reds will shift forward. Riley McGree on the right. And still McGree going near post. And it hit the stanchion. Curto was worried enough to make the full-length dive.
Was that a pretty good day, McGree? Constantly asking questions of Western United, maybe inspired by the fact that Australia is going to be going to the Olympics after the win last night against Uzbekistan.
Blatant obstruction here by Jakobsen, Adelaide captain. Becomes the first player into Kurt Ham's notebook this evening.
The pace of Dylan Piraeus. Jakobsen just stepping across. He's never going to be able to get back and catch him.
That's the second card of the season for Michael Jakobsen. I think Barisha's still struggling a little bit with that ankle. Aspro, Durante. Not afraid to inject himself into attacking areas, Andrew Durante. Dillon and Aspro minding the shot further back. Burgess. Kono. Useful ball. Piraeus is quick and will square it up. Oh, that was an important intervention from Jordan Elsey. I was waiting behind was Barisha, and he was licking his lips at the possibility of a hat-trick.
Brilliant from Elsey. Piraeus has come on for exactly this reason. Ball in behind. It's a smart ball across. It was a tap-in for Bessa Barisha. Wonderful from defending from Jordan Elsey to clear that away.
Up with the ball, with the ball.
Corner tap shorts between Diamanti and Burgess. It's Alessandro Diamanti. Is that a shot, Robbie?
It was funny because as that ball rolled to him, we're directly behind him in our commentary position, and I just felt that he might try to pick out the top corner with his left foot. You can't blame him.
Touch minutes to go, plus stoppages. Still anybody's game. It's been a great comeback though from Western United in this second half. Oh, stretching was Dillon, and he made contact with his opponent. Play continues with the advantage given. Adelaide have got numbers here. It's Konstantopoulos. Oh, what an effort that was from Nathan Konstantopoulos. Fresh off the bench. enters his name onto the score sheet in this topsy-turvy contest. And the Reds lead once again, 4-3.
Oh, what a wonderful strike. It's not the first time I've seen him score goals of that quality. I think it was the FFA Cup, if memory serves. Strain was taken out in the back play. Sliding tackle from Pereiras to intercept, and as it falls, Konstantopoulos, only one thing in his mind. Good first touch out of his feet. Shapes it perfectly past Curto into that far corner. An inspired substitution from Gert-Jan Verbeek. And the Adelaide bench was straight up. They're not happy with that tackle on the far side. 4-3.
Well, he hit it straight and true, didn't he, Nathan Konstantopoulos? It's just his third A-League goal. They do have concern here, Gert-Jan Verbeek and the medical team. Over Ryan Strain, who was the victim of a pretty heavy challenge in the build-up to that goal. We've got a VAR check here going on as well.
Didn't really get a close look at it as that attack was unfolding. It was more keeping a close eye on the goal from Nathan Konstantopoulos. Have another look here. Ooh, that's gone in. He's caught a piece of the ball, but the studs are showing over the top of the ball.
So the question for Alex King is whether that is worthy of a red card. That's the only way he can get involved. Looks as though they're going to continue.
Might be considered a little bit lucky. It's a borderline one for me. It's quite dangerous.
Oh, he's staying, still wait. No, okay, we're all right.
Well, that's the thing, Simon. It has to be a red card. It can't be a yellow.
No, that's right. So Western United, after completing one comeback, have to start again. A great finish it was from Konstantopoulos. They've got McGree on the ball here. Halloran in advance of him. Konstantopoulos again. Riley McGree looking to place it in the corner. Rebounds away for a corner.
Konstantopoulos, every right to take that shot on again. Almost the exact same spot, opposite foot this time.
Breeze left foot to deliver the in-swinger. Jakobsen at the back post, beaten in the air by Aspro. Came off Pereiras, corner the other side for the Reds.
Just wonder if that's knocked the wind out of the Western United team, that 3-3. Looked probably slightly the more likely. Just wonder if that's going to deflate them.
They're the happiest people inside Wetton Oval at the moment. That's a travelling contingent of Red supporters. Konstantopoulos looking to turn provider. Strain none the worse for wear from that challenge that ultimately led to the goal from Oscar Dillard. They've finally seen off the threat of Western United. High foot by Kone there on Dorigo. Kurt Ham spotted it. Yeah, it's you, Panna.
Jakobsen in conversation with the Adelaide United bench as well now, not happy with the fact his coach was talking to one of his players while the game was going on. He was saying to Gert-Jan Verbeek, he's talking to you and we need him.
So we've got two players coaching from the field. Look at that, how that will go down with Verbeek. Anyway, Konstantopoulos picks out Jakobsen at that back post. And the flag is up. Western United eager to get on with things, understandably so. Carvalho. Valentino Ewell is shaping to be Western United's third and final change. Injection of a bit of pace in the top third of the field for the home side. Oh, that's a bit careless by Skotadis. Presents the ball to Riley McGree. He can't stop him by fair means or foul. Still McGree, now Miliusnic. Reds looking to put the game to bed.
Just wonder if 4-3 up. Not really many options for him there. Maybe just turn out and look to retain the ball. Maybe try to win a foul or something along those lines. Just give the ball back to Western United. But Adelaide United, I must say, they've looked comfortable this last 5 minutes.
It's been a real seesaw affair, hasn't it? I'm with you, Robbie. It just feels like the wind's been knocked out of Western United. See if they can come again late on. Meantime, Blackwood, Halloran, with Durante at his back, but no foul. Kone. That's good work by Konstantopoulos.
Good introduction for him. Coach would have told him to come on and have an impact, bring energy to the midfield. He's done exactly that.
Well, this guy certainly had an impact again. What a player he is. Scored the goal to get them back to 3-3. Takes his leave, maybe still feeling that ankle knock that he picked up last week against the Mariners, and Valentino Ewell is his replacement for the 5 minutes or so that remains. Another one of the African diaspora, Valentino Ewell, born in Kenya but South Sudanese by nationality. Here's Kone, swinging it into the box, acrobatically clear by Elsie.
Good clearance again. He was very good at that last week in the second half against Melbourne Victory. Really defended that 6-yard box and box very well. Not so much in the first half for the Brusha goal.
Burgess, Arias, finds the space, useful ball. Jakobsen this time. Last few minutes of an absorbing affair here at Whitten Oval. Who got the final touch there? It was Ewell. Heard it loud and clear. What have I got to say to you? Go forward.
Well, they're the runs that do all the damage. Tiring defences. You want to be stretching them. And obviously he's not listening to the message that his coach has given him.
Well, Miliusnic skipping clear of Durante and then forgot to take the ball with him. Arias, Kone. Kone. On for Ewell to chase. Well defended by Jakobsen. Back with Kone though. Durante. Aspro. Ewell. Not sure Parias would have got there even if Ewell had made that touch. Didn't read it. Back with Durante. Adelaide sat a bit deep here. Parias now to drive for the byline. Flips in towards Berisha. Elsie there again. Nobody attacking the loose ball for Western United, and now Adelaide can perhaps break forward. George Blackwood to carry it up towards the opposition penalty area. Ryan Strain busting her guts to get up alongside and couldn't return the compliment. Last 90 seconds of normal time. Kona. Still showing he's got plenty of energy. No infringement. Blackwood. Konstantopoulos. Dorigo. Ryan Kitto is getting stripped and ready on the touchline for Adelaide United. So we caught the biggest spray from his coach a week or two back. They responded in the right fashion. It's a foul by Durante. By defeating Melbourne Victory, and it looks as though might be about to make it back-to-back wins. Still back into 5th place in the A-League ladder.
You go with them, you go left back.
Adelaide will go up above Brisbane and Western United. Keep themselves in touch with those 2nd, 3rd, 4th positions.
Well, no hat-trick for Nikola Miljuznic tonight, but he did score twice. Took his total of 5 for the campaign. Ryan Kitto is going to play left-back if we believe the instructions given to him by Hev Chamba-Bake. Probably means Michael Maria further up the field.
I agree with his manager, great job. Probably one of the best performances we've seen in an Adelaide United shirt. And the knock on him has been he doesn't finish his chances. 2 goals today. One of Adelaide United's best, without a doubt.
Kitto's first touch is not a particularly good one. It's the first of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Yule. Kone, is there one final twist to this contest, which has been an absolute ripping game, must be said, Rob.
Fantastic. One of the best games of the season for me. Thoroughly enjoyable. Plenty of chances. Tactical battle as well. Still not over. Still a couple of minutes yet. See if Western United can salvage a draw.
Aspro. Pariah's calling for it and gets it. Can't get away from Maria. Crosses deep. Burgess to knock it back down, looking for Ewell. Adelaide scramble it clear for now. Burgess again. It's asking a little too much of Max Burgess. Adelaide trying to see it out on that far side of the pitch. Western get a corner.
Yeah, risky play from Haller, and he should have just put that up for a throw-in. Took a risk, and in the end, he's given up a corner.
Which they work short and far into the box, but Jordan Elsey there again.
He's been big this last 10 minutes.
Kona. Chased by McGree. Quite the gap there to find Pariah. Time ticking away for the home team.
McGree did well there not to give away a free kick. Good defending on Kone.
A chance of United, you can hear it coming from the Adelaide fans in this battle of the 2 Uniteds. The team has had to weather a bit of a storm second half, but so far they're coming out on top. McGree concedes a free kick.
Just praised him for not giving away a foul. Now invites some pressure on for United. They've defended the box well in this half. Jordan Elsey, a few minutes left.
Might be their last chance, Western United, to grab a share of the spoils. Notice Kone's delivery. Ryan Kitto was on the end of it. Max Burgess through Cavallo. Square by Skotadis. Kone seen a lot of the ball in the last 10 minutes or so. Hopeful ball into the box though, really. Blackwood should be able to relieve the pressure for the Reds. Put forward by Haller, and space here for Konstantopoulos. Even more of it for Ryan Kitto. Fresh legs, of course, off the bench. How much ambition has he got? Not much is the answer. Understandable in a way.
himself the corner. Smart play. He did have some players in the box, but Adelaide United were outnumbered and they got no need at the moment to go and score another one. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one kept in the corner a little while longer.
That time almost up. Adelaide with the advantage, happy to keep it in the corner. A foul on Blackwood there, but Kurt Amps, well placed, not interested. Check on the watch, and it is all over. And the first ever meeting between the two Uniteds was a 7-goal thriller in the end. And despite a very strong comeback by Western United, it is Adelaide who claimed the points. Back-to-back wins for the Reds, despite that double for Besart Barisha on the occasion of his 200th A-League game. As Western United's debut at Whit Noble ends in disappointment. But lots of entertainment for the fans, that's for sure, at both ends of the pitch. A handshake between Messrs Rudin and Verbeek. Adelaide move above Rudin's team into 5th on the A-League ladder. And this was a peach of a game to watch. And that's the way it finished. Western United 3, Adelaide United 4. Let's get reaction with Archie.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, here with Riley McGree. Another great performance by you tonight, mate. That's 8 goals in 11 games. Must be great from midfield too.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a real confidence booster as an individual and also as a team. You know, we're getting forward, we're creating chances, and we got a goal in the end to win it, so it's great.
It must be pleasing too. You went ahead, they came back and looked like to be on the ascendancy, and then you get another winner.
Yeah, you know, we're a bit sloppy at times, and there's things we can fix definitely. We shouldn't have gone back level, but that's football, and we got back and we did get the goal to get the result, so very happy.
It must be pleasing too to get Trewisi back in the team. It looks like you combine well together.
Yeah, for sure. He's a quality player, and he brings the quality out in everyone else, so it's great.
And also too, did you sleep much last night? Did you stay up and watch the game, or did you watch a replay?
I watched a little bit of the game, and then my phone kind of vibrated a bit when the boys messaged me, but nah, it's